Let me come to Lagos here with Mr. Ken Okolugbo. We've seen this series of meetings, one security, one focus on corruption, now this one on politics. What do you make of that meeting?
Well, I think it's laudable. It's laudable in the sense that the polity had been heated up. There's been a lot of divisive tendencies, a lot of back and forth in terms of ethnic coloration given to not only talking about restructuring, but talking about self-determination. And the quick notice from the Arewa Youth Group, the self-determination by the IPOB, it was a situation where it had gotten beyond politics. And so I think one thing I must give to the president is that he must have watched very closely all that was happening in the over 100 days that he was outside the office. And he could tell that at the point in time, we needed to bring a healing process. And that is why you can see that after he dealt with the issue of security, he went ahead to hold the meetings with the governors and now with the two political parties. And, you know, we should kick against criticisms that actually cross the line of decency. For those of us who criticize sometimes the actions of the president, we do so in good stead, in able to keep him on the government on his toes. But there are some that try to cross that line of decency, which I think also has made the president quite worried, which is one of the reasons he has said that bringing the two main parties together, the ruling party and the opposition, would give that notion that, look, we can disagree, but we can't be enemies.
But could it also be that there is a realization that there is a threat on the political climate, in Nigeria?
But certainly the threat was even already hovering, even before he went on his medical vacation. But we see what he actually also has to do is he has to manage it with the immediate team that is around him. That political threat, the buck stops on his table because he's the commander-in-chief of the armed forces and he's the leader of the ruling party. And so for him to be able to douse that threat, he should be able to show that he has gone beyond partisan politics. And that's exactly the new Buhari we're seeing as of now.
Senator Shehu Sani, is this a new Buhari, or is something that a lot of people think maybe the president has just realized that there is a major political threat to his party and perhaps the ambition of his party in 2019?
Well, from what we have seen, if you go into analysis of the speech he made when he came back and to see what followed up, I think it's in tune. It is not about a threat to his party or his administration. It is a fact that the stability, the peace, the unity of the country is seriously threatened by a number of forces, some centrifugal, some centripetal. And it is also the fact that if nothing is being done, these cracks could expand to a Gulf stage, and that is worrying. So the president's intervention, executive intervention, is about dousing tension, as you said earlier. It is also about sending a clear message to the political parties, both the ruling and the opposition, that they should put the country first. We need to have a country before we have an ambition, before we have an aspiration, before we also have the pursuit of power. So this is the first, from what I know, a president hosting two parties, all major parties, and then imploring them to put their differences aside and see to it that the country remains one. And if you also assess what he said, he addressed the opposition by saying, first of all, emphasizing on the need to have an opposition in an electoral democracy as we have here, and the need for them to also play the opposition within the ambit of the law and within the line of responsibility.
All right. Senator Shehu Sani, I guess it's a very good time for us to take a breather on the program. The president said today's meeting is not a political gathering, but a symbol of unity and maturity of Nigeria's democracy. More analysis coming right after this break.